Hello and welcome to How to Think Like a Penny Player, the live commentary series where I take you through a couple of games, provide insight into what I, as a penny player, am thinking about, and otherwise provide general tips, tricks, and other tidbits of information to help you improve your penny gameplay experience. This is going to be the first video in what I hope to be a regular occurring series on the Per Moment YouTube channel. And without further ado, let's get straight into the first game. And looks like we are joining a match in progress here. Well, this is unfortunate timing, I'm sensing. Let's see if we can make something of this game. So what I'm thinking about right now, currently, is just how to get onto the point. Black Panther behind us, so I'm going to stun him. One of the most important tricks that you'll learn as Penny, who is an anti-dive character, is learning how to disrupt the rhythm of dive heroes. Characters like Black Panther, Psylocke, Iron Fist, they all rely on this concept of rhythm to perform their combos. They'll all have this muscle memory to be able to pull off certain tricks. This game is still on. This game is not yet over. There is still a chance for us to make it on and cause some problems. And here we are, we're on. Stay on our webs, because it's going to give us some healing. Stay by where our healers are providing healing. And most importantly, do not get knocked off. Now, I can destroy my nest. We'll be back in 2 seconds. Definitely should have happened earlier. But that is going to be the first game. Down. So, here we are. We are back on Hell's Heaven. I think this is the Charterer base for the first map, which is a good one for Penny. It's a lot of choke points, a lot of places to trap your enemies, get down some nice mines, good coverage for your nest. Should be a good game. We've got the Venom team up as well. Now, Venom's team up with Penny is good. Penny doesn't get nearly as much value out of it as Spider-Man does. Spider-Man obviously uses it as a big combo finisher and doesn't quite use it as like a get off me tool, and that tends to be what Penny uses the team up for. Is it's a get off me tool, it's a space clearing tool, and on something like a King of the Hill map like the Charterer space, get off me tools are a great way to create space. Now, we do have a Venom as a dive tank, which means that my role right now is going to be very much focused on frontline tanking, as we do have somebody trying to flank behind here. Enemy Spider-Man, so I'm just going to see that, and again, just dive in, cause problems. Now, see how Venom's getting low? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push in, finally place my nest down in a spot where it's not going to get instantly destroyed by the map. And because I saw that the Venom created so much space, I'm able to push in and create a decent amount of space myself. Now, I destroyed my nest there and placed it here because out there, very much in the open, very much going to get destroyed quite easily. But behind a wall like this, I can extend its range with manually placing down webs, so I get health bonuses all the way out here, as well as extending the effective range of the drones that get spawned, and create a nice little web snare for the mines to go in. Now, I am not a big fan of what the team is doing. It is winning right now, but the idea of overextending closer to the enemy's spawn is never... It doesn't really sit right with me. So I'm going to head on in. Perhaps mistakenly, as it's going to get me quite low. But here comes the enemy team pushing in with their Lunar ult. Now, we are out of the effective range of my nest, but because my ult has just popped back in, I can now extend the range of this all the way around, drop a bunch of webs down. Unfortunately, because I'm not running there, I don't spawn any webs underneath me for that one. But, luckily, our healers are doing a great job, so thank you to Metallic Block 5 and Erebus Omega. So again, as a tank like Penny, pushing forward is something that's really tough to do just, you know, generally by yourself. you really want to see the enemy coming towards where you are. That's where you're going to absolutely thrive. Which is why, as Penny, I am a big fan of fighting against dive characters, like that Black Panther there. As our team is just kind of crushing this game, but there is still a lot to be gained, information-wise. The Lord Black Panther doing his job, trying to disrupt the backline, but we've got a dive tank, a frontline DPS in our Bucky, who's going to be sticking around the main group, the dive DPS in our Spider-Man, and then a couple of good healers with one healing ult, which is nearly ready. So we are looking to, on the frozen airfield in particular, trap the flank routes while we hold the main area, because what Penny does excel at is holding one area with her nest and herself, and using her mines, which are her main source of damage, to create 7th or even 8th players effectively. Now, on this map in particular, I like placing my nest up here and around the corner, because it's hard for them to get to, while also cutting off this top area before the first fight. Black Panther has come in. I don't have my nest down there, and it's damaged, so it's not going to be an instant respawn. You can see its health down in the bottom left. As I'm just going to stop this Black Panther from capping. I'll destroy my nest now, get ready for it to go back up. As he's just dashing all the way around me, and that's fine. He can do that all he wants. I'm going to get down, and I will hold this point with my life. I'm going to destroy my nest again because I want to be able to get out and stay mobile. Place it back down. Again, behind cover, make sure you're always keeping your nest safe. It is your lifeline and your biggest tool in this game. Behind walls, always. Generally, the only time that I would recommend placing your nest out in the open is when you immediately ult afterwards, because what that's going to do is it's going to draw all the attention to you and draw all the attention away from your nest. Otherwise, and even most of the time when you ult, I would still recommend holding your nest behind a wall, behind a doorway, even down underneath a ramp, just to make sure that it is safe. But they have too much of a hold set up, so I'm going to connect my webs from my ult back to my nest, and I'm just going to start pushing in. Lost for words there as I was trying to focus on this Mr. Fantastic. I see him attacking my nest. I see it go down to 290. I want to just get it back to max HP, so I'm going to get it back to max HP. Now, this Black Panther is doing a very, very good job of timing his pushes into when I don't have my stun ready, as this group has placed his wall above the entryway. But they've got a healer down now, and my nest goes down. So we've got 12 seconds of no nest gameplay. What does that look like? Well, it looks like playing rather aggressively. You know, stuns, battle mines, all the sort. It also includes preparing yourself for where you're going to place your nest next. And that's going to be here. Now we start trapping. Now we start, you know, holding these areas without holding them. This is where Penny excels. We've got our nest down, which arguably can actually go on a better spot over here. Just because it's more out of the line of sight of enemies pushing in, and it's going to be harder for them to push through that doorway if they do take that route. Now, he's going to give us the fantastic front shots. That is okay. So he's going to make sure that our healer is okay. He's going to go down. He's going to get his wall up. That's fine. We're just going to keep focus firing. The Groot's low. Now, Groot is one of the heroes that does struggle against Penny, as I accidentally managed to get the Lunar Snow there. I'm going to run back. Thank you so much to the healers there, because that is something that I realistically should not have survived. The Mr. Fantastic absolutely ate the web snare that I intended for the Wolverine, so unfortunately a number of our team did go down there. Adam Warlock's kind of low, going to push into this Lunar Snow, who walked onto one of my... the freeze! She walked onto one of my mines and was super low, but froze me off at the point they were able to push in. This Thor made the mistake of pushing into a Penny nest with the Penny there. Now Groot's walls. Now, Groot's walls are a struggle. They're not they're not a useless tool for Groot when it comes to fighting Penny, but the important note is that when they destroy a Penny nest, they don't destroy a Penny nest, they just displace it. And what that means is they're not, when Penny's nest is destroyed, it gets destroyed on 0 HP and it goes to the 15-second cooldown. When it's displaced by, like, the map, as you saw in the Super Soldier Factory, or by a Groot wall that gets placed underneath it, it gets displaced and removed on however much HP it is on. So if a Groot displaces your nest when it's at full HP, your nest just, you get it back instantly, because destroying your nest at full HP gives it back with 0 cooldown. So Groots will often see a Penny nest and immediately Groot wall to displace it. If it's on anything close to full HP, get ready to put that down straight away once more. Because not only is that going to boost your movement speed, not only is it going to provide you healing, not only is it going to give you extra damage output against that Groot, but it's going to give him yet another target to focus on. And diverting focus means that you survive longer, and he's probably going to destroy it again at max HP or close to it, and it's a really, really nice cycle. Somebody above us here. That's fun. So I did leave my nest a little bit under-defended there, and yeah, that's my own fault. I was out of position trying to take on multiple of them at once. That was poor play. We're experiencing a little bit of lag here, as you can see. But luckily for Penny, that is not the biggest issue. We see he's fantastic in his shield form again. He's going to hit me, but that doesn't matter. We'll just keep him stunned, keep him immobile, and then we'll just keep pushing up. On offense, Penny is just a slow-moving tank. She's going to find her space and keep it moving. As you saw there, I did destroy my nest mid Mr. Fantastic ult. Now, the reason that I did that, as I'm going to ult in to try and create space, is because even though it could have stayed there and dealt a little bit of chip damage, or it was going to get destroyed anyway, by destroying it manually, I decreased the time of cooldown. Because again, it's based on HP, not based on time. Here's the Adam Warlock ult, so we're going to go high and drop some mines down. We've got control. They're not shooting at my nest yet. That Groot is low. As you see there, my nest got displaced by the map and removed. That's fine. So always destroy the Groot walls when you see them. And we're going to keep going. Now, in Season 0, Thor's ult was really, really easy to deal with as Penny, because obviously you could stun it. Now, while you can't do that anymore, as my nest goes down on low HP, I lost track of its HP. While you can't do that anymore, you can still fire at it. Fire at Thor mid-ult, and it still does a significant chunk of damage, even with Penny's puny blasters. Now I'm going to find the best bit of cover for my nest when I can, but that's a good Groot ult. It's going to get us all dragged in. He's placed the walls, but he's out of position, and his self-healing is quite limited. Relative to the other tanks, relative to, like, Venom, who has the symbiotic bond, relative to Penny, who can self-heal. Thor's getting constant bonus health from his Thor Force. Groot is one of the healers that one of the tanks that really struggles without a healer. Like, Groot doesn't have a regular or a significantly prevalent means of self-healing. Now, what you're going to do, I'm going to place my nest down, but again, I'm going to immediately ult, because that makes me the target. Now, I can basically make this entire point mine by looping around. Now, my nest is going to go down, but I do manage to get Mr. Fantastic down. I'm just going to push into the Wolverine with the symbiotic bond. It's my best close quarters means of dealing damage. Other than, obviously, I could punch. And again, when I've got nothing to do, not a lot of mines to set up, etc, etc, just placing the web down so that I can self-heal. All of your webs self-heal, and even your web sling places down the extra web for you to extend the range of your hero. Thor locked onto that, but he's gonna back up now. And that's okay. He can back up all he wants. I'm also gonna stun this fantastic further just to extend the amount of time that he's down from the Wolverine push. Gonna stun Thor. I really hoped he was gonna back up onto the mines there. I placed them down for the Luna, but they didn't dead, so I was hoping that by stunning him, I'd force him to back up. Unfortunately not. I'm gonna fire some mines up onto that pillar. Now, my nest does go down, but I am okay with that because it's back up right now. And this is part of why Group really struggles in a matchup against Penny, because she's basically always gonna get her nest back up unless he dedicates time to destroying it. Because it only counts as displacing it. As I still get hit by that Thor ult, which is unfortunate. That's okay, we're gonna walk in and we're just going to displace them with the Penny Venom team up, as I'm going to get absolutely done in by Wolverine. Normally not a great counter to Penny. The stuns tends to be quite strong at disrupting his rhythm, but with a lot of pressure there, he was able to do well. Unfortunate wall climb. And we have overtime. Gotta push it. 3-on-3 on the point. We managed to get a bit of a numbers advantage. And this might be one without my help, but I am going to place down my nest and ult in. I didn't get the nest placed down, unfortunate, but this is going to be ours up here. They can strange portal all they like. I'm fairly sure that anybody that pushes in is going down to the walls. And they did actually have the point there, but the ace, and that is going to be it. That's a GG. I didn't even see that they managed to get back onto the point, but it does not matter because they go down to the nest. Chuck a GG in the chat for the opponents. Let's head on to the next match. And we are here on Shin Shibuya. We are playing defense, which is very good for Penny. This map is really strong for Penny defensively. So many tight corridors, a lot of really good trapping spots. This is going to be really fun. And, of course, I get to use the rollout. If you don't know what I'm talking about, do check out the rollout guide that I dropped a couple weeks ago. I'm going to use all the tips from that one and just make sure that I can get out as fast as I can. Now, unlike the rollout guide, the difference here is that I'm going to be stopping here. I'm going to be setting up my mine traps here. Because I have found, as people have gotten more experience at the game, even on something like quick play, the door mine traps tend to be a lot less effective. But the reason that I want to set it up on this downwards ramp is because I can hang up here. This supports a web. I can see my nest, I can see my mine trap, I have decent coverage down onto this main flank, I can cover the right flank, and basically just lock down this entire area single-handedly. I hear Spider-Man, but that's alright. We've got a Hulk breaking in, but there goes like all of his HP. I'm going to fire down a couple more mines. One's going to go off, and there goes a decent chunk of his HP, and I will take that. They also have a Black Panther, which I am very excited to see. As he is unfortunately going to dash over all of my mines. He's going to trigger them, but not actually get hit by them. Now, here comes a cap in on my nest. That's fine. He can do that. I'm going to head down and start dealing with these flankers. Adam Warlock is always fun to see. They're trying to focus down my nest. That's fine. I'm going to back up. Too much pressure. A lot of damage being chucked down into those. As we'll make sure the banner goes down. As always, stay in the bubble and the healing arcs of Loki. Just good practice to stay by your healers, especially as a tank. because you are going to be their priority. So you see 1 dash, 2 dash. I missed the stun, so his rhythm's not quite disrupted just yet. But if you can hit a single stun against a character like Black Panther, against a character like Spider-Man, a lot of times their rhythm and their muscle memory is not going to hold up against having to deal with a sudden stop of their momentum, a stop of their combo. I see a couple of us on the left flank there. I'm going to take this right flank, see if I can't place my nest down, and then again immediately make myself the target. If they are going to do that, you can always run in and hit them with the spider sweep. Mantis going to hit her ult as well as our friendly cloak and dagger, and that's okay. There's the stun on the Spider-Man, and he's going to have to escape. Adam Warlock just sitting up and above the point. That is okay. I'll see if I can come and deal with him. Move my nest back down here. Remember, it's always free to move, as I do whiff the stun on the Amazing Spider-Man, which is my own fault. We really need to stand on the point here, but I was way too far out of position.
You know what to do, spiders?
This is a really nice nest spot I've found. The wall in front of it is indestructible, so not a lot of people actually manage to get it. This Black Panther is earning his keep here. Finally stun him, but it's after the combo, as Cap is going to destroy the nest. A rare sight for that nest spot, I will say, but he did have to sacrifice himself for it. As here comes the Black Panther once more, diving into our backline. I am holding further back than where my teammates are, somewhat deliberately. Main reason being that pushing too far forward, if I go down, the rest of the push is not going to be able to be stopped. Here is a much nicer nest spot that I can put down to then also set up my ult, and then push in, head around, get the webs everywhere, start dealing out a ton of shit damage as this Hulk is going to ult.
This is gonna hurt.
I see my nest is taking damage. I can't delete it mid-stun, unfortunately, but I am getting healed. I'll stun that Hulk, and we will ult here. Now, friendly Squirrel Girl ults. I'm going to head over to the Loki Ankhs because they are incredible for healing. Get stunned, that's fine. And the nest is going back down. There we go. We can push up in the Cloak and Dagger ult. Make your Cloak and Daggers happy, guys. Push up in their ult. Spider-Man behind, Black Panther as well. Dashes through my stun and manages to avoid it. Hulk is gonna stun me, but we can extend the range of my spider nest up the top here with a couple of smart web positions. Bit of healing. My nest is gonna go down, so I'm going to back up a little bit, stun the Hulk while he dives my backline. Place my nest back down and wasn't able to get it above the defensive spot. Just going to keep making sure that we are moving as fast as we can. Now I'm going to place my nest down here and extend the range of it with a little bit of webbing. Now I'm not sure if that webbing quite extended all of it, but here comes the push from the Captain America ult. I'm going to counter that with my own ult and get stunned by the Hulk, which is obviously less than ideal, but we can keep pushing in. My nest is down, so I see the 12-second timer. I'm going to do my best to push forward and create space so that I can wait for it to recharge before pushing back in. Where's the Hulk? There he is. Stay by the healing arc, and my nest is back. So we're back, we're good. Here comes the Black Panther. He can do that all he wants. He's going to get hit by a couple of my mines, and that is going to be that one done, as this Spider-Man getting stuck, bonking his head on the building. No worries, and we are going to set up more mines. And this is where Penny excels. You don't want to push too far forward, but you just want to make sure that you are doing as best you can to hold 1 point and let the enemies come to you. Now, it is important to note that a web that you place down doesn't disappear if you manage to hit an enemy with a web snare. So when I've got 3 webs put down, and I've got it in, like, a spot that I'm really, really happy with, as I see that Mantis in a corner, so I'm just going to mine the corner while she can't jump out. If I've got 3 webs set up like this in a place that I really, really like, and I know I can hit a web snare on someone, like there, against that cap, or just before, against the Monster Hulk, I'm gonna hit the snares, right? I'm gonna shoot the snares. I'm not gonna be afraid to get rid of them. But what you'll notice is the difference in playstyle when I have 3 webs down that I'm comfortable with, where they are, and I'm not gonna be just firing willy-nilly snares into combat. As that Spider-Man is low, just lead with your shots. He does ult, but that is okay because I can stun him, and I'm comfortable with that. Now, more of my webs, more of my mines. I'm just going to keep pushing forward in, knock them up and away from my nest. He does manage to get it down. 13 seconds left. Banner. We can probably get the banner down, or at least damaged. But this Adam Warlock is putting a ton of pressure on. Nest is back, so I'm going to place that back up, but I hear more people behind me. I'm going to destroy that so that it doesn't take as long to get back up. He's running, but that's okay, because my nest is back. And that's the power of having something like Penny's Nest. As you're going to see, I'm flinging more web snares into combat now that I don't have mines down underneath my placeable nests. They're all underneath the... Actually, I don't think I have any mines down, like, at all. Or at least if I do, they're very, very minimum. But they're mostly underneath my actual web, my nest, I should say. Which means that I can sling them freely into combat. As this Cap is going to push in again on with his ults. That is okay, because I'm going to be able to stun him. Now, Iron Man, Storm, the healer, the flying characters often really, really make Penny sweat. The reason being that her primary fire, while infinite ammo, is a slow-moving projectile that does 30 damage a shot. And her other main source of damage, her mines, they stick to walls, right? You can't hit somebody who's flying in the sky. And her last major form of damage is the drones from her nest, and obviously they can't reach anywhere that isn't their webs, and the sky can't be webbed. So I've found what's best with flying characters like Storm and Iron Man is lead your shots as best you can, and as much as you can stun them down to make your shots easier to hit, or alert your team, try and get some hit scan characters in, and if no one's doing it, don't be afraid to switch to a hit scan character yourself. We've got one more round on the slate for today. Let's see where we're headed. So we are on the offensive side of Clinter. We are here to escort the Null's Essence underground, as it's looking like we're running a triple tank single healer. There's the second healer. Triple tank on offense. Alright, so Cap and Venom tend to be very, very dive heavy tanks, but you can still put a ton of pressure on with Penny, even as a frontline tank. Even being that pocket tank for your healers to just shove all of their healing into, you can still be super, super effective at drawing fire, healing fire, and putting out a pretty good amount of damage. Now, we again have the Venom team up. And that Get Off Me tool is going to be super useful for pushing into points, establishing where you want to put your nest, as Spider-Man is just sort of chilling. He's also got the Venom team up, you can see. Now, he's probably going to be chill. They have an Iron Man, so that's going to be an issue for our Adam Warlock. As you can see, like I was saying, not a particularly easy character to deal with, as a slow-moving, low-damage projectile character. We're going to stun the Venom to try and kill him before his symbiotic bond gets off, but unfortunately that's not going to happen. Now again, I just use the venom as a get off me tool because this Spider-Man is doing the absolute most. As that's where good map knowledge comes in. But yeah, with the Spider-Man and the Venom behind the play, not doing a whole lot, that's going to be that first point. Now, what is this team looking like? We're up against an Iron Man, a single Venom as their one defensive tank, which is something that we can absolutely take advantage of. They are not going to have a ton of HP on the actual points themselves, as getting up close and personal with the Iron Man is going to be the best way to deal with him. I'm going to dash up behind him and just hit him from the back, basically. As Cap draws his fire, along with the fire of the enemy Venom, so I'm going to do my best to deal with both of those. As I get stunned, he gets healed. Trying to place my nest down, as you can probably hear, and I'll just scare him off, as it is fairly easy to do. Just gonna use this as the get off me tool. It is. Break my nest so that it gets its HP back quicker. He's going to be flying around. I'm going to see if I can cut off his escape. Can't quite make it, but we are still pushing the payload quite effectively. And he is the frontline tank. So they've got the group now. They've abandoned the double dive comp that they had with Spider-Man and Venom. So that also means, importantly, that Spider-Man doesn't have his combo tool anymore. See him diving behind. He can head behind all he wants. We're going to keep pushing, and we're going to keep doing a ton of damage. Going to use the group wall against his own team there. Now, we still have the triple tank line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be very, very sneaky here. First of all, set up a little mine trap here. But second of all, I'm going to draw their fire behind them. Right? I will just be a thorn in their side. I will just be a nuisance. I'm not going to be outputting a ton of damage, but I will be annoying as all get out. And that is all I have to be. Right? We've got two other tanks pushing the cart. The cart is still moving. As I say that, we do unfortunately get taken off of it. But there's our friendly Storm Ult. As here's the group, the Spider-Man. I'm still behind. They still are not ready for the fact that I'm still behind them. I'm going to stun the group, and without the self-healing, the group is just not able to deal with a Penny full pressuring. Able to push through, and I'm just going to go take some more space. Luna missed her stun, which means that I basically free reign to just push in, stun, and eliminate. Gonna head around and set up quite aggressively. Gonna make sure I'm watching this flank route with a mine trap, and then I'm gonna hold the main route with the buffs from the webs. Here's the group. And I see Spider-Man, somebody heading around this right flank. I'm gonna check. Doesn't look like there's anybody there for now. I'm going to re-up my webs, which got destroyed. They now also have a Penny. And I might be able to provide some valuable information in the Penny matchup. Now, first of all, if they are using the same skin as you, their mines are going to look the same, just without the blue outline. Right? Luckily, this Penny is using the blue Tarantula skin. I'm still running with Venom, as I'm going to miss my stun on the Spider-Man. So my mines and my nest are going to be quite purple. Very, very nice. I like it. With the green highlights. And hers are going to be blue. Right? So it's going to be very, very easy as I place my nest not in a particularly good spot. But at this point, this game does feel, for the most part, over. Now, anytime that you see an enemy Penny nest, if you're not firing at the enemy Penny, that's fine. The nest doesn't get a ton of value if you're not on the webs. But if you are fighting an enemy Penny, destroy the nest first. Always. Always, always, always. If you have your nest up, you're going to have your survivability be massively improved. And you're not going to see that for an enemy Penny if you are focusing down her nest. And that's going to be how to think like a Penny player for today. We learned a couple of key traits today. We learned how to best utilize the Venom team up as Penny. We learned how to best take space as Penny, and then also right at the end there, just for a little bit, how to take Penny on in a one-on-one matchup, as well as providing some decent mine and nest spots for the Charter space on Hell's Heaven, the what was it? The Shin Shibuya defense map, as well as Clintar on offense. Hopefully, can make this into a regular series. Live commentary is something that I do really enjoy making. So if you do enjoy this, make sure to let me know in the comments. But otherwise, hope you have a great day. So yeah. Oh my god. Hello and welcome to How to Think Like a Penny Player, the live commentary series where I take you through a couple of games and give you tips and tricks on how to better your penny playstyle. Fuck me.
Took you that long to realize?
It's effective and for a bit. I'll appreciate that. Double kale. Look out, you.
He's strange, yeah.
No, he's fairly regular.
No, he's a Loki.
Yeah.
Wait, we actually got it, that's crazy.
Oh, you also portaled.